Hi, thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah, talking with Tammy, with my guest, Kristina Deckard. I'm so excited that she is here to tell you exactly who she is and what she does and how she can help you. Kristina, take it away.
Thanks so much, Tammy. I'm so happy to be here. And I help online business owners to combine spiritual guidance and practical messaging strategy to grow their business. And so that's really digging into um, how we have to bring, as spiritual entrepreneurs, we have to bring in that spirituality for our business to really succeed. Because if we leave that out and try to just focus in on the business stuff, um, it just doesn't work for us. We're just not aligned to it. And so that's why I started working to really help my clients to align and bring in that spiritual connection and use that to really magnetize themselves and their business to draw in more clients and for better conversion. So that's what I do. And to go in maybe a little more depth is that I am a psychic medium and I have many years of business experience as well, owning a brick and mortar business as well as an online business. And so I just started combining all of that as I needed to do it for my own business and was seeing that my clients needed it as well.
That is powerful. That is so powerful. Now, that's what I was going to get into. Go into a little bit more about what really made you decide to add this component to your business, because it sounds like you already had something going, but you saw the need for this and then you decided to add that. Go into a little detail about that.
Okay. So when I started out, I realized my gifts as a psychic medium, and I started um, offering those types of services. So I was doing mediumship and psychic readings, oracle card readings, that sort of thing. But I really wanted to bring forth the business side of it because I had that experience. And I really felt that women online who were opening up to their gifts and in the spiritual um, realm needed more business strategy that felt good and that worked alongside with what they were doing. Like it really had to align. And that's why I started doing that. And also for us to make more money because we're the healers and we're really changing the world and we need to know how to connect with people online to bring that into our business. I saw that a lot of times there's like the law of attraction and those sorts of things, which are awesome, but we need the practical business experience alongside of it. And so that's why I wanted to, it was really important for me to bring this all together.
Yeah, that's powerful. That is powerful because, so many times we in the spiritual community, the healers, the psychics, the mediums, we we lack that. But when we go to ordinary regular coaches, they don't want to bring that so that's interesting. How do you generally work with your clients? Do you work in groups or do you prefer to do one-to-one, or how does that work for you better?
I love doing the one-on-one work because we can really dig in and it's so specific so when I connect in, it's just like whenever I do a psychic, mediumship reading, but it's really connecting into that person at a soul level and to their business. So I bring in a business team of spirit guides, my own and my clients, and work with them in that way. So it's great to have that one-on-one time. I do have a course. It's like a self-study course. So there's a group dynamic in that brings in the spiritual components and messaging components into that. So if someone is interested in like self-study, they can do something like that. But doing the one-on-one work is what um, really gets your business going.
Yes, that is good. So, do you work with people primarily online or do you do it in person, or how does that work?
Yes, I do everything pretty much online.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did you do it like that prior to the pandemic, or was that totally?
Yes, I did. I did everything online, and I have I have a couple of local clients, but not very much. I've always promoted my business online and primarily done that online. When I mentioned that we have a brick and mortar, my husband and I own a restaurant, a pub in
Oh,
the area. So yeah, so it's totally different, separate. Yeah,
that
from what
really
I do
is.
here.
That is powerful. Now, do you feel like this type of gift has helped you even in your brick and mortar?
Yes. Yes, like developing my intuition has definitely helped there. I can make decisions so much easier. I know, um, yeah. I mean, we recently looked at like a new location and some things like that, and I immediately knew when we walked in if it was a yes or a no. You know what I mean? Like those sorts of things. So yes, it really does help.
Yes, yeah, that is powerful. That is one of the things that I love is when people are able to use these gifts, not just doing psychic readings and, not just in, these type of businesses, but, in everyday life and what it is that we have to, how we have to live. So that is so powerful. Um, is your family super supportive of this business that you do?
They really don't understand it too much, but they are. I am lucky that I have a supportive family. And my husband is extremely supportive of me having my own business. He looks forward to when he can retire, and and I'll still, because I still want to do this, you know. And my parents, I did not come from a background where this sort of thing was really accepted.
Yes.
Um, but they have been very accepting of it once they kind of understood a little bit. I had to explain it to them.
Yes.
And they had some fears around it, but it's been great. And I do have some family, more distant family members who book readings and things with me.
Gotcha. I was going to say that was going to be my question. What kind of background did you grow up in? Because a lot of times, I know for me, I grew up in a more religious background, Pentecostal holiness, Southern style.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a thing for me when I decided to come out of the spiritual closet, and I came on Facebook doing readings and stuff. And I had to just get over it in my mind and not be concerned about, the people that, the church people, and now we're going to come on and say, well, what are you doing? That's, what they say, that's of the devil, this, that, and the third. So how did you, tell me about your background, what you came from?
Yeah. Very similar. I grew up in a Baptist church, and we were there at least 3 times a week, if not
Hmm.
more.
Five.
um, yeah, we were there a lot. And I had a grandmother that was in a Pentecostal church. So I was in between the two. Um, and so I guess, this is something also really interesting that we're not supposed to talk about, but I'm going to reveal it here.
Yes.
So my family, there is, on one side of my family, there was a healing, it was a secret, like a healing secret. But people knew, who in the family and in like our small community, that some of our family members could heal burns and some other things. And so, but this was very hush hush. It wasn't something that you could talk about. And there's strict rules on passing it down through the family. My mother did not believe in it. Her father and my grandmother both had this gift and wanted to pass it to her, and she refused it. So I knew about it. I heard the story, like miraculous stories of healing from like awful, horrid burns. And then just a couple of years ago, I messaged the family and said that I was interested in this. I wanted to know more about it. And it was so incredible because it created this communication between our family that I hadn't seen before
Oh,
about
awesome.
how
Awesome.
miraculous this healing was. And like all these stories started coming out of things that had happened. And so I finally was able to get someone to pass the secret to, it had to go from female to male. So I got a female in the family to pass it to a male who agreed that he would then pass it to me.
Oh,
So
nice.
now I have the secret.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was something that was very like buried and not accepted by everyone. But just, and I think that's part of my message too, is that just communicating, unleashing our voices and speaking up creates such healing and this ripple effect. And I just think that that's part of my purpose here in this lifetime. And so, yeah, I want other women, especially, to be able to share that and speak up and say what they need to say, because it's so important for their own healing and for the healing of others, their families, the lineage, for lifetimes.
Yes, I truly believe that. Yeah, I believe that because I wrote a book about my story, and it was difficult, but I knew that I was called to do it. I
Hmm.
knew I was supposed to write it. I knew I was supposed to share it, that it was supposed to be all across the world, which it is. And I'm super
So
excited,
awesome.
right? But
Yeah.
I was, I was at that place where I didn't know if I should share it because, it was so painful and so personal. But I've gotten so many messages from women that thank me for sharing,
Mm,
because they could see themselves in so many pieces of it.
yeah.
Not the complete story. I think I have got one person that was like, I got this, and I'm with you, and I can see that. And but I know that it was a healing piece. And I know that, as a healer, there are different ways that we can heal.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that piece? The different ways to heal.
Um, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think it's so true. And I think that as healers, that we don't necessarily have to like do anything special, to assist others to heal, because the healing flows through us. I mean, all of that is channeled through us. And if we're connected to our clients, things happen miraculously. And
Yes.
yeah, I don't know if there was something more that you wanted me to say about that. I guess uh, it's been multiple times that, without even really talking about healing, when meeting with a client and going through something, and then they'll come back to me and say, um, did you do some healing while we were in this? Because suddenly I feel like this or that, or something's totally shifted. It's totally different. And I was like, yes, that happens. Like, it's not necessarily something that I'm doing. It's just that
It's what
it's
they
my
needed.
business to connect. Yeah,
Yes.
it's my business to connect and let that energy flow through and do what it needs to do. Yeah.
Woo, that is powerful. I felt that so strongly because I think that is so important, especially now,
Yeah.
because of the time that we're living in, this awakening period where people are finally waking the fuck up. You
Hmm.
know, it's
Yeah.
like, wake up, you want to slap them. Wake up. What are you
Yeah.
thinking? What are you doing? Wake up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is super important. And I love the way that you say that healing just flows through us.
Hmm.
That is like, to me, it's like the deepest thing, because so many healers, um, when we start out this journey and we start, stepping into our gifts and stuff like that, a lot of times we won't really realize that we are the healing, that the
Hmm.
healing flows through us. We are conduits, we are connectors of, the spirit world. And a lot of
Absolutely.
times we won't recognize that, and we'll be, pushing and forcing instead of, that divine feminine and just allowing,
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
huge.
Absolutely. And I think that is so powerful because um and when we talk about like talking about our businesses and what we do and all of those things, sometimes we get stuck on what modality we're using and those sorts of things.
Yes.
And we really don't need to. We don't need to. I mean, I think it's great that we do learn about different modalities and all of that, but actually we can just integrate all of that, and it integrates with the energy that we already have going and the flow of everything. And so it's not about really the modality. It is, like you said, it's about us being that conduit.
Yes. That's yeah, that's even more powerful because, I know for me, as I started doing different things, I started with Reiki, and Reiki was my thing. And I tell people, and I feel like Reiki was like the gateway drug. You know? It was a thing that opened it up for me,
Yeah.
but it wasn't, what I just do.
Hmm.
And then for me, I felt like there was a connection when I started doing Reiki, because I was always spiritual. And like I said, I listen, in a lot of ways. And then some ways I learned that my grandmother, who was my person, she was a pastor, preacher, teacher, evangelist type,
Mm-hmm.
and prophetess. And so I realized that she was way ahead of her time, and she did a lot of things differently than they did in the traditional, churches and stuff like that. And then I was her person. I used to go with her to churches where she would go to these little hole in the wall churches and heal people.
Mm. Wow.
And then she would also call me up and tell me, lay hands on this person and pray. And I
Hmm.
was 3, 4 years old. And I
Yeah.
would lay hands on the people who would get healed. So I had already encountered that. But, as we grow older and, all the things that they pack into us instead of allowing us to expand,
Yeah.
and so I appreciate that the modality is not as important, because that's the way I feel. It's like I've been trained in the Reiki, and then I'm a certified theta healer, and also sacred soul alignments, and I also radical guide DNA activation, all these things. And it's funny because I was looking at some stuff and I said, well, maybe I should, and you know what it said to me? You don't need another modality. You got this.
Yeah.
And and it's amazing to think about that, because so many people are pumping this and that and the other. And you know what? They're all energy. They're all
Absolutely.
energy. And what I'm learning is that I use all of those things and I just combine them, and then I use things that I don't even know I had, like in another life. Do you find that
Right.
happening with you?
Yeah, a, a lot of times I find myself like trying to name something and I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what it is. I'm just going to use it. I
Yes.
don't know exactly what, I mean, I can't really put a name to it. So it's working and, people are getting results. I'm getting results. That's all that matters.
Yes, yes. Because the
Like
energy,
maybe one day a name will come. I don't know.
the thing is it's like, like somebody will ask, well, where did you get that from? And I'm like, it's all energy. It's
Hmm.
all energy, because I had a prana healing that was, I mean, oh my God. I mean, I literally felt that girl's hands in my body.
Mm,
And she was in California and I was in Arizona.
yeah.
So I know, and that, like, I don't know, that hooked me definitely with energy, because I had been already, I think I was just finishing my Reiki up, because I had
Hmm.
finished all those courses. And I was like, okay, I'm waiting for something, but I didn't know what I was waiting for. And this girl offered me, I think I was doing readings or something. So she offered me a swap. She would do a prana healing on me and I did a reading for her. So I did that and she was like, oh girl, that reading was on fire. And I was like, yeah, because I don't like to talk to people when I do them. I mean, I don't want to know no whole bunch of stuff. I want to be, get that information from spirit. whatever it is that I'm supposed to share. And so, yeah, and then she did the prana healing on me, and it was, oh my God, my back was hurting. And this girl, it's like I could feel her hands massaging my back.
Wow.
It was amazing. I was like, wow, and that actually was what sold me on energy healing, not even the Reiki that I just took, and then I
Yeah.
recognized everything is energy, everything is energy. So how do you help your clients to get to that place where they're realizing that they need a strategy, but they also need to work with their energy?
Really, most of my clients come to me knowing that.
Okay.
I have really smart clients.
You call them in.
Yes. Yes. Like they know, and they have been, working at their business, and they have spiritual practices already, but things aren't quite fitting together for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's still a struggle. And that's why they come to me, because a lot of them will be a little intuitive, or even I have clients who work as psychics and that sort of thing. But even the ones who wouldn't consider themselves psychic will come because they know that there's like additional information there. Like they can feel it, like they know there's something missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that I can see it, what they can't see. Um, and then, so that's why they seek my services. Yeah.
That's powerful. I always write, but I'm writing some of these things down that you say, because I love to, when I do my post, I love to put it in there. Something that you said from the theme that's powerful. That is powerful. So we're gonna wrap it up, but
Okay.
talk a little bit to um, the client that you're looking for, or the client that you have called in.
Okay.
Talk to that. Say, a little bit about, what kind of person they are, or, that kind of thing. I know you've spoken a little bit about, that they seek you out because they know there's something missing.
Yeah.
Expand a little bit on that before
Okay.
we go.
So if you're in an online business and you know that you're doing all the things, like you're posting in the groups and you're posting on your Facebook page and doing all of those things, and something still isn't connecting, like either it is like with your niche, you're not quite realizing who they are, so it's hard for you to get your message correct, or you already know that and things just aren't, you're just not able to meet your goal, then that's where I help to see exactly what is missing in the alignment piece, in connecting in with spirit. So sometimes it can be that, okay, so I have a client who really connects in with trees, and she kind of made a deal with with the trees about helping her to bring in money into her business, and so being able to see that clearly for her, I was able to tell her a little deeper connections that she can make, some practices to connect deeper in with the trees and to get their assistance. So the trees showed me exactly what she needed to do in order to bring in more money into her business. So that's what happened for her, but it's so individualized for each person.
Yeah,
That wouldn't work for someone else, but it works for her.
that is that's even powerful. Connecting with the trees. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Trees will bring you
That's,
money. They show me.
that is really, really awesome, because so basically you connect with whatever it is that they connect with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then you're able to kind of put their business on a movie screen so that they can see.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. That it is very true, because that's how I see it. I see it on a movie screen. I'll see it kind of like the big picture. But what's really important too is that I am able to give you the details,
Yes.
so that you know exactly, like when we get off the call, exactly what to do, what to say, so that, you know, like, let's say it could be you're getting ready for a webinar and you're not exactly sure what needs to go in that. I can connect into that and help you with your content for it and what your ideal client needs to hear to promo that information.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome, because you're right. A lot of times people will get the big picture, and or they're like me, they're a big picture person. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
visionary. It's just what I am, and
Yeah,
so the moving parts sometimes are too much for me, and I can't always, connect them in the way that I would like to, because I see the huge picture and I can see it way over there, but I got to get there. And so
right.
I can see that that is something that you help people to do,
Yeah,
because
and it is
that's
harder. It's harder for us to do for ourselves.
yes,
Yeah.
that is something. I love that. I love that. All right. Well, let the people know how they connect with you, and whatever you want to share, because we're going to wrap it up.
Okay. I do have a free resource for anyone who may be staying hidden online, for any spiritual entrepreneurs. So I will give you the link for that. It's called 55 Reasons Spiritual Entrepreneurs Stay Hidden Online. And so it's a checklist of all of those reasons, and then some journaling prompts to help move through that so that you can get past it and put yourself out there, and be more visible. And also, of course, I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. And if you're interested in chatting with me, just send me an email. I'm at Kristina@KristinaDeckard.com. That's the best way to reach me. And yeah, and I'd love to hear from you. So it doesn't mean, emailing me doesn't mean you have to sign up for to book a session or anything, but just email me and see. And if you have any questions or want to know more about me or my services.
All right. There you have it, Deckard. And I'm so excited that she has decided to join me. This has been a most amazing conversation. As I always say, I learn something from each and every person that comes on my show. I mean, I think it's amazing, and I'm a lifelong learner, and I believe that we should learn something every day anyway. So that is just powerful. And I hope that, what she said to you has spoken to you, because it spoke to me. So again, I'm so grateful that you've decided to join us, and make sure that you reach out and connect with Kristina at any of her platforms, and send her an email if what she said has spoken to you. So thank you so much for joining us. Bye
Thank
now.
you.
You're welcome.